Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tech Tuesday with me, Jeremy and Jan Flam, or Jannie, as some people may know. Sorry about being a bit late tonight. It's no one's business, but it's on me. I'll take that responsibility. It wasn't my fault, so don't. Doesn't happen often, guys. Doesn't happen often, but that's the beauty of online, isn't it? Doesn't really matter. And we're in lockdown, so what else are you gonna do, huh? Hello, everyone that is here. Reese Vandervalt, Eleutheria, Yanni is in the chats as well. Amy, and of course, Anti-Marxist is also with us. So, Yanni, how are you?
Good, thanks, and you, dude. It's
Good.
been 2 weeks.
It has been 2 weeks. Oh, yes. Should we do
Today's the
the
day.
announcement now, or should we let people sweat it a bit?
Nah, let's let him sweat.
I agree. We do it maybe, what, halfway?
Yeah, we can do it somewhere there.
Okay,
At the
cool.
9 o'clock mark.
Yeah, maybe 9:15, 9:20,
Somewhere there.
9:30.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. We'll see how it goes. So tonight, I don't know much about tonight's topic, and I figured, Yanni will fill us in because he knows he's actually been doing this himself in his house. He showed me some of the stuff that he's been doing. So tonight, Yanni, you're going to be educating all of us. Tell us, what is the topic about, and how did you get into it?
Cool. So tonight we are talking about Internet of Things, or it's also referred to as IoT, or essentially it's one of the not predecessors, so to say, but it's a more technical word for something that you start using when you start looking at smart homes, smart buildings, smart cities. I mean, there is a lot of options where this can go to. But I think firstly, let's just define what smart homes or Internet of Things I think is, just for the guys in chat. Essentially, it is all of the devices that we are used to every day, that we interact with every day in our house, whether we think it can or can't be smart. It's those devices that has now become smart, and it's now connected to the internet. And when it's connected to the internet, it means we start getting some value by being able to interact with these devices when we're not at home, or when a sequence of events happens. When it comes to real smart homes and smart buildings and eventually smart cities, I think it's more a case of how all of these devices interact with each other. But it kind of, like, for me, just started at home, and it started just getting some automation out of things in and around the house. And as a simple example, where one of my first use cases for this started was a swimming pool. So I don't know, for the guys in chat, how many people have swimming pools, and it's a pain to manage or maintain your swimming pool with whatever you need to do once a week, etc. Sometimes you need to put chlorine in or put some additive into your pool and have your pool run for a couple of minutes or 30 minutes or an hour, then go and switch it off, or whatever the case may be. Your pool is usually on a cycle. So, for the guys that has pools, when you open up that little box by your pool, there's some circuit breakers for your pool, for your lights, and maybe two little timer switches, or at least one timer switch for your pool pump. And that timer switch is set to run from, let's say, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You get home at 5 p.m. and you need to run your pool for an hour. So what you do is you walk to your pool pump, you go and switch the thing onto bypass, you switch on the pool pump, you pour in the additive that you need to pour into, you go and have dinner, and 9 o'clock you realize, oh, the pool's still running. So the pool essentially ran for unnecessary time, or you forget about it, and tomorrow morning you wake up and the pool is still running. That's unnecessary power draw. So for me, the first use case there was I needed to find a way to intelligently control when my pool runs. So first off, I needed a smart timer. So I needed a timer that I can connect to from my phone without having to go into the pool box or wherever, your circuit breakers and things are, without having to go in there when it's, dark or whatever. I just needed to be able to do what I need to do from the convenience of my phone. And that's where it started. So what I did is, and we'll go into it a little bit. So when we start sharing some of the slides and stuff, but I do have some links. Joe, I actually forgot to tell you, we can put like a little URL thing that I have that's got like all the links of everything we talked about this evening will be in there. So the guys can always go back and go and look at like all the different brands of things that we talk about. And disclaimer, guys, by no means am I sponsored or anything by these guys. This is just a couple of years of trial and error, finding devices that I like, and and we can talk as to why I chose them. But anyway, so I bought one of these devices, and it kind of like looks very similar. Let me open up this one. Looks very similar to this one. The one that I installed by the pool is a little bigger. So this is a single or like a one-channel device. So what it means is it will, oh crap, because I opened it up, all the screws and stuff aren't in. But anyway, it's a little single channel device. So this will control one device, like let's say one fan or one light or one whatever. The one that I've got by the pool is essentially a dual version of this. So it's slightly bigger in size, but it can run two outputs. And the one output runs the pool, the other output runs my light. Now I can start setting up my timers to say, hey, pool automatically goes on at 9 a.m., pool goes off at 3 p.m., whatever. The light I can intelligently set to go on at sunset and off at sunrise, for example. But when I get home, I can tell my pool to run for 30 minutes real quick, and I can pour in whatever additive that I want. And when the 30 minutes is done, the pool will switch off. And I didn't interfere with my timer at all. I didn't need to put it onto bypass. I did nothing. So that was my simplest example of kind of like where it started. And from there on, it actually starts getting interesting because now you start seeing smart switches for your lights, as an example. So I have a smart switch, and I can demo this in a second, but from my phone, I can go to an app on my phone, as an example. I have other ways of integrating with it as well. And I can switch off my room lights. My room lights are switched off now. And I can switch them back on. And Joe, if you make me full screen real quick, when it does get hot in my room, I can switch on the fan. And if it's noisy, I can switch the fan off as well, as an example, right? So all of these devices are now on these units that automatically switches them on and off. But this
Dude, you're like Iron Man, essentially.
Not yet. So where does this get interesting though, right? So there's many of these devices. The one that I have that I can demo in a little bit, this one does power draw. So this one can pick up how much power a device is consuming. And there's interesting applications for this. Like let's say you have an inverter system or something, you can have it intelligently be able to not switch on if the inverter is too busy. Or if it draws more power than what your inverter has left, it can then automatically switch off. So, you can start stringing these things together, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But there's another one that has a temperature sensor in it or a humidity sensor in it. So what you can tell it is to say, hey, if the temperature goes above, let's say 24 degrees or 25 degrees, switch on the fan, switch on the aircon, switch on whatever. The nice thing about it is when you start building an ecosystem of these devices, and we will touch on that, you don't have to have a device like this in every room. If your devices are smart enabled, like let's say I have a silly dumb fan that is now smart enabled, because I like making dumb things smart more than just buying smart things, because smart things are expensive and not everybody has smart things, but you can make dumb things very smart for very cheap, because this device is probably like $200. And this device, so if I have like, let's say 5 fans in the house, all of the fans are one of these devices. I call them all fan 1, fan 2, fan 3. I know where these fans are. if the temperature goes above a certain, value, like let's say we specify 25 degrees, I can have it automatically switch on all the fans in the house. I can also now tell it, right, if there's nobody else at the house, because it could be aware of who's at the house based on, my mobile phone, my wife's mobile phone, whatever. If we all leave the house, it knows, doesn't need the fans to run, so it can switch off all the fans, as an example. So there's interesting ways in how you can start stringing these things together once once they're all smart enabled. So
well,
it's a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing when your house is finally all kitted out like Iron Man style, and then you walk in and say, and then there's a voice that says, "Hello, Jannie Vandervalt. How was your day? What can I do to serve you, sir?" And then you're just like, "Hello, Jarvis. Put on this or do this. Set the coffee." I don't know.
It's not far from that. So we can touch on that. Sorry for interrupting. Last year I tested both the Amazon Alexa and the Google Home Hub. So my wife still has the Home Hub. I don't know if you saw it when you were here, but she has the Home Hub. I've got a photo of it on the slide I'll bring up just now. But that Home Hub is integrated with this as well. So she can tell the Home Hub, like, every morning she gets up, she goes to her makeup desk and she says, "Hey, Google, play my favorite TV series, or play my favorite, whatever show she's watching." And that will automatically start, queuing up the things that she likes. But you can then also tell it to, "Hey, Google, switch on my vanity lights," or whatever, and the vanity lights will go on or go off. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like I say, you start stringing these things together. So
yeah. And Gentle here asks, where's the switch to untie your ponytail? That's called his wife.
Oh, does she need me to do the ponytail? I don't know, guys. If there's a big enough super chat, we can do that. So I'm not going to let my hair down.
Okay, yeah.
We need to work. So sorry, Joe. I'm spotting a question here from Bradley. Jannie,
yes.
Are you using a single channel Sonoff for each of the device utilities, or do you have multiples of Sonoffs? So Bradley, it's a bit of both. I have single channels around the house, and then I have a dual channel by the pool. And then I'm actually now at a crossroad because we just moved into a new house recently, and we never had a house that had dimmer lights and all kinds of things. And I was at the point of chucking all the dimmer lights out, because that's like, just why do I have dimmer lights? I just need them to be on or off. And then I saw, but you get Sonoffs that can control the dimmer lights. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm interested, because now I can let the Sonoffs, because my wife always, like, I like having lights around. So when I switch on the lights, it's like always too bright. And then my wife is like, can you like not just like wait 15 minutes or something, Now I can have it like have a scene, and we'll talk about the scenes in a bit, but now I can have a scene that says at sunset, switch on the lounge lights if we're in the lounge at 50%. And then every 15 minutes after sunset, ramp it up to 100%, as an example. So I'm at a crossroad now. So I am probably going to, go, that's what's happening.
Nice. Someone actually responded. Amy giving 100 Rand super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, wait. No, we need music for this. Bow chicka wow wow. Bow chicka wow wow. Bow chicka wow.
Like that? Is that fine?
See, there's your button to take off the ponytail, whatever you call it.
Oh, my wife wanted to come and make my hair loose. But no, wait, the super chat one. Sorry, babe. And I didn't take a freaking Nerf gun. I have no protection.
Oh, no. Gentle saying, oh la la. Thank you so much, Amy, for the 100 Rand super chat. It's greatly appreciated. All right. So, yeah, dude, don't see you with your hair down very often. You look like you belong in Sons of Anarchy.
Somewhere there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Or Vikings. Vikings more.
Sons of Anarchy. I get Sons of Anarchy vibe. No, not Walking Dead. No, you're
If I
not
can
tough
have a
enough.
Harley, if I can have a what? I'll be back.
No. All right. So, oh man. Okay. So, we're talking about, for those of you who've just tuned in, we're talking about the Internet of Things, also smart homes. Yanni has been taking us through some of the changes that he's made in his house. He just showed us, like magic, turning off with his phone the lights and turning on a fan, which is super cool. Obviously, like he said, this can be integrated and take it even further. So you can have a house like Iron Man.
Not far from
So
that, dude. I think what we
yeah,
need to do is, because this stream was obviously it's a good topic to talk about, and it obviously helps when you have real stuff to demo. But it would be cool, Joe, if we want to do a follow-up, maybe in, like, let's say 3 or 4 months, like, let's say maybe March or April somewhere, because then I should pretty much be done with, like, most, if not almost everything in the house would be transitioned over onto smart switches and smart everything. So
well, let's do this.
um,
Why don't we tell people? So if you guys want to see Yanni's house in all its glory with the new, if I can say, fixtures, technological fixtures, or
Iron
whatever you
Man
want to call it,
upgrade.
Iron Man upgrade, then get us to 50 likes. That should be easy, right? And then we'll do a part two
Yeah,
follow up where Yanni can explain even further, like what his house does now. And there better be a Jarvis. I'm saying that's my request.
a Jarvis-like thing. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
and maybe, Joe, let's sweeten the deal. Let's give away something smart on that stream that day. So
Oh,
we'll figure it
okay.
out. Let's give
All
away
right.
like one of these things, something else. Let's get somebody else interested in the tech. So
Okay.
um,
Cool.
disclaimer: I don't take responsibility if you shock yourself, please. Um, but yes, let's make it cool.
Interesting. Okay, cool. We'll discuss it and we'll talk about it in our next Tuesday thing. We'll clarify all the rules. All right. So what's next? I have
So
to know
let me
what
bring
your
up.
wife says here.
Let's.
My vanity light
Oh yeah,
first, please, and then my
yeah.
color LED lights in my room.
Yeah, so actually, I think, Joe, you saw, like, yesterday I posted some photos on our group with her LED light strip and all those things
Yes.
that she's got in her little girl cave slash TikTok room. So all of those lights, I will put them onto Sonoff as well. So she could actually, and I think what I'll do is I'll video that. She could actually say, "Hey Google, um, TikTok mode or whatever," and lights will go
That's
off,
cool.
vanity light will go on, ring light on, LED light strip could go on. So it's all possible. I mean, it works on the concept almost. In enabling single devices like this is easy. Like, I mean, and I can bring up my screen and show you guys how that works in a sec. But once you have all these things configured, it kind of works in a method of if this, then that. So if this happens, then do that. You could have multitasks, like a multi-stage, if this, then that. Like if it's sunrise and the pool light is off, switch the pool light on or something like that. You could start doing cool. Of course, can start doing some cool things. So yeah, let's maybe show some images and things. Can I share my
Cool.
screens? My screen's all shared.
Let me do that.
Looks like
And
it. Yeah,
then
there we go.
also, I want to just let you know that Anti Marxist has an interesting suggestion. Maybe make some short videos of how you upgrade the different switches. I would suggest that that's a great idea, and that maybe you should upload those videos on your channel so that people can enjoy
Yeah, okay,
some
cool.
content over there.
That's a very good idea. Thank you, anti-Marxist. I did take some photos for the stream tonight. But yeah, I think, yeah, awesome. Thank you for that. I will definitely keep that in mind because I think it's going to have a better impact if people see, like, where it was and where it's going to. So thank you very much. So yeah, smart homes, IoT, we started on that. There we go. So guys, there is a QR code there. So if you scan the QR code, it's going to go to that link mix down the bottom. It'll bring up all the links of the screenshots and stuff that I'm going to show. Let me paste it in chat for the guys that's dual phoning, dual screening. Am I in the right chat? Yes, I am. Right, so cool. Let's head to the next one. So let's just talk about how these things connect real quick. I don't want to go into too much techie detail, but there is essentially two different ways in how they connect. I know there's three things on the screen, but let's talk about the easy one first, Wi-Fi. So the same way as how your phone or your tablet roams around the house and it has Wi-Fi coverage almost everywhere, that's how these devices connect. So these devices are all Wi-Fi enabled devices. So I put them into a pairing mode. They find my access point at home. They connect to my home network, and then they are on the network. Then I have a little clever app on my phone that finds it, and then I can start controlling it. And I'll share my phone in a bit, and then you guys can see how all that works. So the Wi-Fi one's pretty easy. Nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't say it's more secure or less secure or anything. It's just a very easy, very convenient way for it to connect. And for the most part, most houses have Wi-Fi. You buy the device, it connects to the Wi-Fi, off you go.
Yeah.
Where Zigbee and Z-Wave comes in, they have a slightly different but interesting technology. So if I go to the next screen, so if you see what it does there, where all those little blue lines run, so like imagine all of these devices that I spoke about now was a Zigbee or a Z-Wave device. Essentially, all it means is these little devices creates its own network. So the more of the devices you have, the bigger it creates its own mesh. But somewhere in your house, you would need a hub for it. You would need like something that converts its mesh network to Wi-Fi or to at least the internet, so that these devices can connect to the internet or connect, if you want to go a home solution and not an internet solution. So
it's like a spider web with, spider web.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring up Zigbee and Z-Wave is they're a little older technology. Z-Wave is pretty popular, a little bit more expensive. So when I say expensive, like let's say one of these devices costs, let's say $20. A Zigbee version, a Z-Wave version would be like $25 or $29. Z-Wave's a little bit more expensive because they have a very closed protocol. So it's very much like Z-Wave only works with Z-Wave, and you need to buy all your Z-Wave stuff. You can't mix and match. Like I have mix and match. Like these are made by Ashen, which is the light switches that I'll have. We'll bring them up in a sec. These are made by Sonoff. This is made by Broadlink. This controls aircon, TV, whatever. So, you don't have that type of interaction with it. So Z-Wave is very specific, and you only have Z-Wave stuff. Zigbee is a little bit more open source, kind of like. If something conforms to the Zigbee standard, like Zigbee kind of like works. So even Sonoff has the Zigbee stuff, which is pretty cool. So still under the Sonoff brand, you have the Zigbee thing that's Wi-Fi and Zigbee and whatever. So these are the big three things. So if you guys do go and Google or search for some of the smart home stuff, you'll either see them being like Wi-Fi enabled, Zigbee, or Z-Wave enabled. And again, I'm not sponsored by any of these guys, but if I can give you a word of advice, try and stay away from buying smart stuff from like builders or macro or something, because they just charge you overpriced, over insane prices for these devices. I did put some links in that URL that Bradley also shared with like where I buy some of my stuff, and the stuff is all for the most part available in South Africa. So something else that's cool is the project Connected Home over IP. It all sounds very complicated, but for the first time, some of the big players like Apple and Google and Amazon and Zigbee is creating this new unified standard. So Apple has this thing called the Apple Home Hub, and Apple Home Hub only works with Apple stuff. So although it's Wi-Fi and whatever, like Apple only works with Apple. You can't mix and match Apple with Sonoff unless you hack and slash the stuff to work. So these guys now have this new connected home type of project they're working on, and that's going to open up the platform that, for the most part, all these devices will start talking to each other. So it's also very exciting, I think, as these devices are maturing, because it opens up the possibilities, because you always start somewhere. Like you buy a Philips Hue light, or you buy like a Sonoff switch or something, and then you don't want to be locked into a technology that you can't use the way you want to use it. Well, certainly I don't want to. So Yeah. So these are like some examples of the Sonos. So as Bradley mentioned, do we have like a single channel one or a 4-channel one or whatever? So the one on the left, let me bring up my laser pointer. So the one here is like a multi-channel one. So this one does 4 channels. So it's like one of these devices, but just bigger. So it's nice to put that into a place where you have lots of devices you need to switch on or off. And like, let's say you want to do a TV and something else or whatever, like you can switch all of them off. And it doesn't all have to relate. It just means that it's just more compact than having, multiples of these things lying around. The Sonoff temperature and humidity one is like the one I said. That one actually measures temperature and humidity on that device. And then that device can either make decisions to switch something off that's connected to it, or it can trigger something else. So very cool. The Power R2 is the one that I explained that's running my fan. The only reason it's just the one that I had lying around running my fan. That one can monitor energy usage as well. So a very cool use case why I bought this one. And for the guys that loves woodworking or working in your garage, it's like, let's say you're using your saw, right? Your like miter saw or something, and it has a vacuum cleaner connected to it. So the moment you power the saw and you start wanting to cut the wood, you realize, oh no, I need to start the vacuum cleaner. So then you stop the saw, you go start the vacuum. Then, why battle like that? So the nice thing about this is you can connect your saw to this device, and then you can connect the vacuum cleaner to a simple one like that. And then you just tell this POWR2 or the powered one, like, hey, the moment you get power draw, so the moment something starts drawing power through you, do something. And that do something is to switch on the vacuum cleaner. And the moment the saw goes off, the vacuum cleaner will stop. So, I mean, it's a very simple way of making your life easier when you're working in the garage. And that's why I bought those devices, because that's where I use it. What I did, though, is I just connected it in the middle of, like, let's say, a short extension lead. So I made like a very short lead, like a meter long. On the one side, it has a normal plug, so whatever I plug into it. But in the middle of the 2 plugs, I essentially have the Sonoff. So I kind of like made like a little smart lead that I can use in and around the house or the garage or wherever. So these are the Sonoff devices. So this is one of the very good brands that I use. And the reason why I'm saying it's a good brand, because it interacts very well with everything else that I use. And the next one is the Ishan products. So Ishan, and they have like tons of really cool products out there, like smart cameras. So if the camera sees something, it can do something else, whatever. They also have like smart sensors for, like, let's say, gas sensors, fire sensors, whatever. And they have smart locks. So the nice thing about that is, though, like, let's say there's a fire in your house, you can have that smart sensor trigger not just an alarm and wake people up, but it could also, like, let's say, set all the RGB lights to red because you're waking up in the middle of the night. So your eyes are not going to have adjusted to the lights. If it's red, there's a fire. It can automatically, if it knows where all the fans are in the house, switch off all the fans because you don't want to feed the fire. If you had smart locks, it could automatically unlock all the doors so people can get out. You can start getting really clever with how some of these scenes kind of like works and how they interact and make your life a bit easier. Something else that is from Ashen is these wall sockets, and I'll bring it up on one of the other screens. Not wall sockets, sorry, light plugs. So this is a single gang one, like a normal 1-button switch. This is a 2-button one. I have a 3-button one on my wall, which I will bring up. And this is how I control my lights. So the lights in my room is essentially controlled with one of these. The nice thing about this is, though, and the reason why I only have 1 light in this room, but the reason why I put a 3-1 in there is now I can link 2 other things to that button. Like, let's say my fan. I can, with that button on the wall, switch the fan on or off, but the fan is not directly or physically connected to that button. You really only need to have power on the one, because everything else can just become a scene. And you can say, hey, if I push that button, let the fan go on or off, or whatever the case may be. So,
Sure.
like I say, possibilities are endless.
That's really cool.
The next one is the Broadlink. So that's something else that I have. At our previous place, we used to have an aircon in the master bedroom. So the nice thing about that is it's not a smart aircon. So, and you can set a timer on it, but the aircon could only run to like, I think 90 minutes and then the aircon switches off. But we wanted to, like, let's say, it doesn't matter. The aircon must always switch off at about 2 a.m. as an example. So that's where this comes in. These devices are like dirt cheap, like $300 or something. And the nice thing about it is a IR device, which is why I had the picture on the right-hand side there. It can also control your TV and stuff. So this integrates again with the same ecosystem. So I could come home and say, hey, Amazon, or hey, Google, hey, Alexa, TV on, or I can have some other smart scene trigger based on my geolocation that the TV goes on. Doesn't matter. Or if I get home, the aircon goes on. Or if the temperature gets above a certain degrees, the aircon goes on. Whatever your trigger is for this would be the device. Now, these devices, what makes it nice is it doesn't work like the remotes you had in the old days. Now, if you remember in the old days, you had to point the two remotes back to back, and then the one remote would learn the other remote. This doesn't work like that. So this has a database of like all the remotes out there in the world. So if you have, like, let's say a Samsung, whatever, something 12,000 BTU inverter aircon, that's not smart, model 12345, you would type it into this app, it'll find it, and then it has like its own little GUI on your phone, which has like, the temperature settings, the on-off buttons, whatever, the basic functionality of the aircon would be. But again, you can now smart interact with that. So I can, through some other app, send commands to the aircon. I know what power on, I know what power off, I know what, set temperature to 18 means, as an example. So these devices are really, really handy.
Cool.
And like I say, you put them anywhere in the room and it basically covers the whole room in a 360-degree zone for aircon. So lastly, there's some other devices out there, like the really nice but really expensive aircon control devices is like the Sensibo devices and the Google Nests. We don't get them in South Africa, but they are purposely built for making dumb things smart, but just very expensive. But I just thought I would mention them because you would 9 out of 10 times see a Sensibo or a Google Nest ad on Facebook or something before you would see like the Broadlink ads come up. On the right-hand side, there is a picture of the Google Home Hub, which has got the two bulldogs on there. That was in Reese's Girl Cave. And it used to be called the Google Nest Hub. So Google bought Nest, and that's like a little 5-inch tablet speaker device, whatever. It's stationary, and basically it's touchscreen, and it supports all of these things. So it interacts with all of these smart devices either via buttons, so you can create buttons for it, or you can just give it voice commands and it'll do what it's told, kind of. So yeah. So this is my study. So here's a photo of like my brilliant wiring. What I did want to mention about these ones is there's a reason why I chose the Ashen devices, which is like the ones that's in the picture. These devices don't need a neutral line. Now, for anybody that knows how electricity works, you usually have two cables that runs to a device. The third one would be your earth, but you usually have a live and a neutral. So it's usually the blue one and the brown one. In this case, it literally just needs the red cable. It doesn't need to be powered, essentially, because there's always a bit of electrical fluctuation on these 220-volt AC lines that it actually powers with very little voltage, and then the device runs and it's powered up. So Sonoff has ones that needs a neutral line, but Ishin, which is the brand that I've got here, they don't have the neutral ones. They only have ones that doesn't need a neutral line, which is why I opted for these. In this example, when I bought these, my previous place, we didn't have live wires and neutral wires everywhere. But in this place, we actually have neutral wires everywhere. So over time, I'm actually going to swap these out for the ones with neutral. Those devices are a little bit more forgiving to set up. And there's some technical reasons for that. So But either way, they all work. They kind of like work the same way. The UI works the same. The app is the same. Everything's the same. But that's how it works.
I gotta say, it
of
looks
course,
very futuristic. Like, so you can go up to the far right. That picture, you've got a picture of it's in the wall with the 3 circles. Yes, that one. So you can just put your finger there as well. Like, you don't necessarily.
Yeah, I just touch it. It's a touch sensitive button. So
Okay.
now, obviously, if you see how this one looks, it looks square and ugly. Of course, I had to 3D print some nice frames.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
you'll see it now in the picture. And I actually had a customer in Mossel Bay that said, like, okay, cool. I'm not taking all 30 of these things that I have in my house off. Can I just design a bumper for him that basically just clips over this? And I printed this guy a bag of 30 of these things, and it literally just pushes
Oh, let me
over.
make you full screen.
It literally
Show it
just
again.
pushes
Yeah.
the smart switch, and then it just looks a little bit neater because this is a ugly square.
Yeah, I thought
So
the bumper came with it. That's cool, man.
thank you.
Speaking
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Speaking about 3D printing, maybe we should mention it quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys, let me actually make us full again. So you guys know that this mic that I have with me, some of you may already know, but for those of you who are watching for the first time, this was actually 3D printed. What? I know, crazy, right? And designed like a vintage microphone with a slight modification. And if you want to know how this came to be, Jannie will be premiering one of his first episodes of the vintage mic just after this stream. So please, 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 everybody watching now, please go check it out. Go find out how we made this. It was so much fun to do it with him. It was so much fun to bring this to fruition. It literally started as a quirky idea for me to have a microphone on the stream, and then us men asking questions. We were like, oh, but wouldn't it be cool if we could make it like a real microphone? And boom, here it is. So if you want to know how that happened, please go check out the premiere of that video. It's happening in half an hour, so 9:45 after this stream. I did leave a link in the description below. You may need to refresh the stream so you can get the link, but Jannie has also posted it in the chats as well. So you can go just set a reminder and come join us in the chats when we premiere that. It's a very short video. It's about 10, 12 minutes, somewhere there. And it's a lot of fun. It's also funny. I like it. So yeah, we're very excited to debut that episode, the first episode of Will It Work? And if you enjoy that video, don't forget to comment in that video and ask us, hey, if you have an idea, you want to try something, 3D print something, whatever, you can ask us the question, will it work? And you can suggest some ideas for us. Yeah. So having said, I think it's also time for the big reveal.
Do we think? Let's just see what's left quickly. Maybe we can finish this up and then do the reveal.
Let's keep the
one thing left.
Okay, let's do that one thing, and then we'll announce the giveaway, the winner of the giveaway. Oh my word, what giveaway? I don't know. People are tuning in now. You missed a giveaway. We're giving away a Nokia 2.4, and we're going to announce the winner in just a moment. So please go set a reminder. I'll mention this, your premiere again as we end off. But yeah. So, Jannie, what's left?
Why is my autofocus being annoying? You see, this is why you don't want autofocus, dude. Stay. Okay, what's left?
Why don't you use your little smart app thing and tell it to focus?
Well, I need to. Right. So these things in action, I just wanted to show what this looks like quick. So they change color. So blue obviously means it's powered. And then, so in this video here, it's off. So, and the top one So this video shows how it switches on. This one shows how it switches off. I know it's like very silly, but I'm doing it from my phone. So you'll see, and the light changes and the light goes on. It's kind of like boring, but it's also very easy to see. Like in this one, you'll see the light goes off and the little circle goes blue again. So very simple. It's kind of just a visual indicator of whether the light is on or off. Very much like how you would see on your actual light switches in your house, how that would work. So yeah, so let me show you real quick, and I can bring this up on my phone as well. We can try that. I'm using something called EWE-Link or EWE-Link. I'm not sure what it's exactly spelled, but EWE-Link allows me to interface with all of these devices. So something else that I have not shown is this. It's like a little, I don't know, RF frequency bridge, essentially, and this can connect to a whole bunch of devices. You also get a Zigbee one. This just powers with like USB, like a cell phone charger. And that device allows me to have lots of these devices around the house. So this is IR sensors, and this is door sensors. So now I can start building smart scenes where I can say, right, if the IR sensor triggers and it's after dark, switch on the light for 5 minutes. Or if I close the door to my study and the light and the fan is off, switch off everything, as an example. So, it's not just limited to stuff that has to be physically connected. These things just use a stock standard 433 megahertz wireless around the house. It's got fairly far reach around the house. You need like one of these little hubs, and then all of these things connect. Very much like what I said earlier with the Zigbee and the Z-Wave devices, where it needs a little hub, and then all these devices kind of just connects to it. That's what these ones do. And there is other sensors as well. So there's water leakage detector sensors, etc. But yeah, so how this really works in my app is like I can see all of the devices in my house, like what I call them is this RF bridge is this one that I showed you guys, and it says remote 2, which means there's 2 devices that I've paired with it. In this case, it was my door sensor and this IR sensor. Study 3W or study 3-way, that's my 3-way switch that I showed in the previous slide. So it's a 3-way switch in my room. Pool area, that is by the pool, so in the pool box. And if I click on those, it would, go into the pool light and the pool pump. Christmas tree, our Christmas tree is also on a Sonoff switch so that we don't have to switch it on at night. So when it is sunset, it will go on automatically. And at about 10 p.m., it will go off automatically. So yeah, big fan in my study. Little big boy back there. Something else is called scenes. Like I said earlier, is you can tell it to like do multiple things. Like in this case, I have some actions that happens at sunrise, and I have some actions that happens at sunset. So as an example, on the right hand side here, it says if it's sunset in my area, then the Christmas tree goes on and the pool pump, the pool area pool light also goes on. The reason why it says the pool pump keep, if the pool pump is running, it won't switch it off. And if the pool pump is off, it won't switch it on. So it'll just ignore the pool pump. So all it does is like at sunset, Christmas tree goes on, pool area light goes on. And yeah, I don't have to worry about it. And then at sunrise, it'll switch off the pool lights again. The Christmas tree goes off on a different timer. So yeah, that is how that works. Let me try and share my phone. Let's see. This is the first time we're doing this on stream, Joe. Let's see if this works. My phone should come up. And there we go. Guys, please don't send me crappy messages because it's going to come up on the stream, because this is my real phone. So let's go into the home automation app. So like EWE-Link. So this is my study light. So if
it didn't come up.
I did it.
Oh,
it didn't come up.
There it is.
It did. Schmuck.
That's
So
for
if I
making me say, "Hey Siri."
exactly, if I switch off my room light, you'll see the room light goes off, goes on. So I have buttons for these on my phone, and I can pin these things to shortcuts on my phone as well. Like I don't have to go into the app or whatever. So if we go back to, like, let's say the pool area, you can see currently the pool light's on, the pool pump's not on. There's a schedule for the pump. My pump runs 2 cycles a day. It does what it needs to. Christmas tree as an example. Christmas tree switches off every night at 10 p.m. The scenes, like I said,
What is, that was
it's
bad.
going
What
to
did
come
she
up.
say?
Hey,
I
noob.
saw it.
I saw the message and I'm like, just swipe, swipe, swipe. Yeah. So what we can do real quick, let's test this, is I can go and create a new scene and I can say, okay, cool. So if the second button, the middle button on my wall device there, right? If that button is on, then you must switch on smart device, the big fan to on. Cool. Save. And I'm going to call it wall fan on. Save. Cool. Let's just do the reverse of that as well. Add, because else the fan isn't going to go off. So I'm going to say, right, if the middle button there goes off, and I can go and change channel 2 now to something. I just left that channel 2 as blank, but it doesn't matter. Not there. Smart device, big study fan, switch off, save, and save. And then this is wall fan off. And if I can spell off, it will help. Save. Cool. So now I'll have 2 extra scenes there. So now, right, I can go to that switch on the wall, channel 2, and switch it on. And there goes my fan. And I can switch it off, and then the fan goes off. So you can start linking these things to anything in the house.
It's quick. Like it's like almost instant.
Very.
Really.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that.
probably like half a second.
Yeah. That's
And
really cool.
what you can now have is you can always have, like, let's say the bottom button in all the rooms, even if you don't have multi-gang switches in all the rooms today, the bottom button in all the rooms could always be like an all-off button or something. So in your master bedroom, you can have a scene, then I can go and say to that scene, right? So I call it like sleep mode. Let's say that's my scene, sleep mode. If I push that button, then everything in the house in terms of light goes off. If the light is off, it stays off. If the light is on, it will go off, as an example. So you can just keep on adding more scenes to this. It's not limited to just one just one scene, as an example. So yeah.
Could you turn on like music, like if you had a stereo, or like if it was like like Wi-Fi enabled like thing, I don't know, radio, for example?
Yeah, like let's say the radio does have an IR sensor or something, then you would trigger it with this. If it's any other device that goes always on, you would just need to power it in one way. So if there's a way for you to switch it on through a remote or manually, it would kind of like works the same.
How cool would it be is if, like, for people who like live busy lives, right? And wake up early, and they know, like, and they, there's some people that really live by routine, right? So every morning at 6 o'clock they're up, 6:30 or 6:15 they boil the kettle. So maybe, like, you set the kettle at, I don't know, 6:10 to boil, and then when you get to the kitchen, it's like boiled and ready to go and pour your coffee and stuff.
So
I know
easy.
that already exists, but you
Yeah.
can set up a scene where it's like, cool, as like at 6:10, lights go on in the kitchen, kettle boils, whatever else needs to happen can happen.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So what's nice about these single Sonoff switches, it has a little button on it. So if you push that button, it will flip either on or off, right? So I can put this into the kitchen, connect the kettle to it, and it'll be always on, as an example, okay? And tonight before I go to bed, you can switch on the kettle, but switch off this thing. So the kettle will stay off. And then tomorrow morning, there will be a timer that will just switch on the kettle, as an example. So there's ways of making it happen. It's not perfect in this example because you still need to remember to switch on the kettle at night. There is a smart kettle. The guys from Zahomi Me's got a smart kettle, but it's only Bluetooth enabled. It's not Wi-Fi enabled as yet. So
yeah, but this is like the future. I'm sure everything in the future will be Wi-Fi enabled. Your kettle, your fridge, your toaster. Then your toaster is going to be judging you when you make like 6 toasts or something, like, tell you to like
always
calm down, and your fridge will judge you every time you open it. Like, you've opened it 5 times today. That's 5 times more than you did yesterday.
Yeah. But I mean, it is still cool though if you think about it, like let's say you would want to care about monitoring some of that stuff, like monitoring how many times something is being used or whatever the case may be, because then you can start figuring out where those little improvements are that you could make, especially when you want to start going into like low energy, having inverters and solar panels and all kinds of things. So it would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
someone saying
I wonder if Nespresso does have a Wi-Fi one.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure there is.
But a kettle is an easy one. But I've seen guys do really cool things. Curtains automatically opening and closing. What guys also do is they take some of these things and they wire it into an actual remote, like for your garage door or something. These guys do have garage door kits, but they wire it into a garage door remote. It looks all hack and slash, but then you can start controlling the garage door remotely. Like let's say Take a Lot needs to bring a parcel. The guy's at your house, you're not at their house. You can have a smart camera by the garage. You can say to the guy, cool, I'm opening up the gate for you. I'm opening up the garage for you. Put it down. Behave. I'm watching you. Garage closes, gate closes. When he's out, off you go. So.
There, I just checked. There you go.
I'll come up with one. Oh, cool.
Awesome, man. This all is fascinating, and I'm sure you've inspired a few people to maybe think about doing this. And very quickly as well, just before we announce the winner, let's say in an average home. So in an average home, you have maybe 1 bathroom, 2. Let's make it 2 bathrooms, okay? You have a kitchen, a living room, and 2 bedrooms. Okay. How much would someone need to be prepared or budget for to make it a smart home to the extent of what you're doing with all these switches and all that stuff? Just a rough estimate. I know it's difficult to.
No, so in terms of price wise, so the one channel, the one that's got the single button, and the one that's got the 3 buttons, there is probably, why is my autofocus being weird tonight? There's probably like $100 difference, right? So it would be like, let's say $329, $359, and $389, for a 1 channel, 2 channel, or 3 channel, or 1 gang, 2 gang, and a 3 gang switch. So it would be, for me, it was a kind of like, okay, I had some of each, but ended up seeing more value of just having 3 channel ones everywhere in the house. So let's say you buy the 3 channel ones, and let's say we work on $400, and let's say you have 4 or 5 of those switches around the house, you're looking at, let's say, 1,600 to 2,000 rand just for all these smart switches. I would recommend this for all of your house switches before I go and buy like these smart bulbs and all those things. Those smart bulbs are cool, and I think they do have a place. Like, let's say you have a kid, your kid wakes up in the morning, they don't really know whether it's wake up time or not, and you want to teach them to wake up at, let's say, 7 a.m. But they wake up anytime from, let's say, 5:30 because it's getting light out, right? You can have like a little RGB light there or something that is blue at night when they sleep, but green in the morning when they get up, or yellow in the morning when they get up. And it only goes yellow at 7 a.m. as an example. Like, there's very cool use cases, I think, for having like these smart bulbs or RGB bulbs and whatever in those. But those bulbs are pretty expensive, and you have more light bulbs in your house sometimes than what you have actual light, switches on the wall. So I think you're going to get away cheaper just buying, I think, those smart, these smart things than smart bulbs. But like I say, there is some use cases for smart bulbs out there. So I would choose those. And then that's it, really. Yeah, for $3,000, you'll get away like automating quite a few things in your house, I would think. And also, don't do everything. Don't do everything. Do one or two. Do the things you care about. Like, let's say if you're upstairs, do like the downstairs lights first, because at night you don't want to walk downstairs to go and switch off the lights. Do those lights first, or do your outside lights or something like that. And then the next thing you could do is get one of those like IR sensors. I'm not saying go and build your own alarm system, but get like one of those IR sensors and put them, like, let's say, by your patio or something. So if there's movement by the patio, the light goes on. But also let it send a warning to you. So have an RGB bulb in your room that goes red if this thing is triggered, but it goes blue if all the doors are locked or something like that. I don't know. You can come up with some clever ways for having RGB. The colors mean something different.
The only problem with those motion sensors, in some cases, not all, some cases, is that if you have pets and they roam outside, it's
ones.
Is there a way?
You do get for pet sensitive ones, pet friendly ones.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. These things aren't perfect because it's designed based on body mass, I suppose, or something. So, or body heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jannie, that was very interesting. And actually, I gotta admit, man, like, I went into this like, I don't know about this stuff. I don't think the tech is ready. But after chatting to you, seems like it's at a point where, you know what, this I can find, like, even in our house now, like, useful scenes and scenarios. Like, I can't tell you how many times we left the kitchen light on and we're upstairs and we're like, oh, I really don't want to go downstairs,
Yeah, but that's if you even remembered that was on. What if you don't remember that it's on, and then it burns unnecessary energy, through the night?
Yes.
Especially where you have, like, smart meters and things, just wasting electricity.
No, it's really cool, man. Hello, Ronaldo House. Nice of you to drop in, my friend. Saying, check out IOTA for all the crypto nutters. It's based on IoT. It's simply amazing, and having invested in pretty much. Why are you spamming my chat now with your crypto stuff? What's happening here? Improve tech. It's pretty much tech talking to each other to improve tech in general. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I didn't read the rest of that. Any thoughts?
That's pretty cool. It's almost like it's an open source connectivity platform, and if I'm not mistaken, it actually uses crypto a blockchain.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay,
if I'm not mistaken. So there's some very cool things there. I mean, we spoke about, like, we briefly touched on a lot of the stuff. There is so many of these solutions out there. A lot of them are like cloud first. You don't have to go cloud if you don't want to. If you're like scared of the Chinese, you could just go with like a home-based solution, something that runs on a Raspberry Pi. These are like the little mini computers. Let me pop this one open. This is like a little mini computer, and this could essentially run your entire house. with all of the smart stuff. You can run OpenHub, you can run Node-RED. Possibilities are endless. It just gets generally a lot harder and a lot more advanced when you start taking it away from the mainstream stuff and doing it yourself on these devices. But it would be more secure.
Yeah, that's something that someone actually asked earlier that I also wanted to touch on. Sorry, it was anti-Marxist who asked the question. Jannie, have you thought of converting the to Home Assistant to get away from your smart home, channeling everything through Google and the different servers in China? So I think you just
so Home Assistant is pretty cool. So Home Assistant runs on I think it runs on PC. It runs on your on Raspberry Pis, whatever. I think it's homeas.io or something. I can't remember their website. Home Assistant IO. I forgot to actually add the link.
Ronaldo says, yes, it's called Tangle. It's a completely different tech than blockchain. It's the future. Sounds...
Yeah, dude, the moment the geeks get hold of these things, dude, they take it to the next level. So, like, for instance, these devices, the Sonoff smart devices, the guys already developed like custom firmware for them. It's called Tasmodo. You can run Tasmodo on them, and then, you start bringing it, doing like real custom stuff with it. So possibilities are endless, man.
Yeah, and I think this episode you just tried to, for the everyday guy who already has some of these tech in his house or her house, and obviously, as suggested by the people watching, you can take it further and be completely detached from Google or China.
And who knows? Next year, March, April, I might actually have made the decision to jump off and start going on to something a bit more.
Oh, there we go. Reminding me
like this. So
reminding me that if you guys want to see a follow-up of the development of Jannie's house, once the Iron Man transition is completed, please, 50 likes is what we need on this video. And why not share it as well? Let people know that this tech exists. Maybe some people will learn and maybe also convert their home into a smart home. It is not expensive. It's not as expensive as you might think. So a little bit of saving here and there, and before you know it, you've got a smart home that's very useful and very convenient.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think it's time, Jannie. We've made people wait until this moment.
Because it's also almost time for the premiere, so let me not be late for my own premiere.
Oh, yeah, crap. That reminds me, ladies and gentlemen.
We can push it for 5 minutes if we need to.
Maybe you should just in case.
Push it.
Yeah, let's push it to, that would make it 9:50 if I'm not mistaken. So
can I make it 9:50? I can't make it 9:50.
Damn it, Google.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. All right.
10 p.m. Sorry, guys.
All right. So 10 p.m., before I forget, is Jannie's little premiere that of how this this 3D mic was made. I'm going to show you guys right now. There it is. So there it is. Please go in the link in the description and go and wait patiently.
Thanks, Mod.
So yes, if you want to find out how this microphone was designed, 3D printed, please check this out. It's going to be really cool. Please give it a like. Please share it. It's amazing, and it was a lot of fun doing this project with Jannie. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, after the video, in the comments below, please ask us if you have an idea, you want to know if something is going to work, then hashtag will it work, and give us the suggestion or idea or whatever it is that you're curious about. Now, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, there's the thank you, Amy and Jannie, for putting the link in. Please go check that out. Ronaldo, we hope to see you there. All right, so now it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the big reveal of who won the Nokia 2.4. Do you have it with you, Jannie?
Yes, I do.
So someone is going to win this phone, Nokia 2.4, and a 128 gigabyte memory card along with it. We threw that in, all of it to the value of 10,000 Rand. No, it's not 10,000 Rand, but it's quite expensive.
Yeah, it's like 3,000 Rand. Somewhere there.
All right. Bradley saying rather use Jarvis, rather not use Jarvis, use Friday. The voice is better. I gotta agree with that one. All right. So who did we say won it again?
I don't know. How are we going to do this? Do we want to bring up the video? Do we want to...
I didn't think of bringing up the video. We can bring up the video. If people want to know who won, I guess. It is public, so it's not like it's a private thing.
So, yeah, I'm sending you the link in private chat.
Oh, I have it here. Don't worry. I'm fast like that.
Okay.
You see, I'm one step ahead of you. You're slacking, Jannie, on your...
Trained you well. I trained you well.
Yeah, sure.
Your game improved since you got mods, dude. You got so much quicker now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Alex V. Hirden. I hope I pronounced that right. This is the guy that has won the Nokia 2.4 giveaway, and here is why.
Hi, Jannie. Thanks for the really great tech shows. I've been enjoying it. I recently stumbled on it, so I've been binge watching everything you guys have been doing. And yeah, you guys give really insightful views into the world of tech. The reason I'd say I deserve to win the giveaway Nokia is that I'm quite the Nokia fan. I myself have been using a Nokia for the past few weeks. Since getting mugged, I had to get a phone like this, which is perfect because it has Snake and a little torch. So yeah, it's been quite useful. Unfortunately, as a varsity student, though, it has been a bit difficult, especially when there's load shedding or power failures, because I used to hotspot myself and just to be able to do my work and stuff, but also to watch my lectures on my phone and just access online resources. So yeah, it would be really great to have a smartphone again, especially one as cool as the Nokia 2.4. So yeah, and thanks for the amazing tech shows, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming content. Thanks, guys.
All right, so Alex V. Hirden, if you are watching this, which you should be because you say you're a fan, please.
Nokia 2110.
Oh yeah, that's true. Shit. Please email. Please email me at this email and send me all the details. We're gonna need Jannie. What are we gonna need him to send?
Yeah, let's just first, I couldn't see, I don't know if you can see, but I can't see where he's based from his profile. No. So obviously I don't want to give these details out over the internet, but if it's based in Joburg, obviously it's easy. I'm more than happy to have a quick meetup with him, take some photos and whatever. Joe, if he is based in Cape Town or close to you, it'd be cool if you could meet and hand it over to him. Else, if he's based somewhere else in the country, we will...
ship it to
make a plan. We will ship it to him. Then maybe if he's okay, then just to send his delivery address details and things to you, Joe, and then we'll work from there.
Cool. So there you go, Alex. Please send me your delivery or where you would like it delivered, your work or home. And yeah, please. Oh, there he is. He says, I am.
Alex,
thanks, guys.
Congrats.
Luckily, my laptop works. Congrats, Alex. Thank you so much for watching, buddy. We hope you enjoyed this episode as well. We will be doing more giveaways, ladies and gentlemen, as these shows go on. So please stick around and watch these episodes. Thank you, Jannie, also for coming up with this idea. It was a lot of fun, and the videos that. Oh, and thank you to everyone who contributed or entered the giveaway. It's very nice of you, and thank you so much.
It was really tough to decide.
It was. It was.
It's not nice. I don't like doing this. We need to find another way to give stuff away. But I don't like choosing people like this. It's my heart's not built for this. But yeah.
All right. So Christo's saying next time give away a firearm so people can't get mugged.
No, I think that's on Germ's channel.
Oh man. All right, cool. No worries, Alex. You're more than welcome. Yeah, like I said, please send me an email with your details, and I'll get in contact with you ASAP. Ronaldo House saying, "I will make an entry video." You're too late, Ronaldo. You're too late.
For
Oh
our
wait,
next giveaway, it's going to be a
Mac
480p webcam, USB 1.
What is it? Are we doing another? Dude, just calm down.
480p webcam, dude.
Before you say this stuff on air. Damn, you're getting excited. Calm down. Let me know when you're giving away a Mac Pro. Then he'll make a video.
The one with the new M1X processor. Yeah.
Maybe we'll see. No, I'm not gonna. No, we'll see. You know what? We'll give a MacBook Pro or an iPhone the day we hit 10,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, somewhere there. And
We'll
Apple
see.
is friendly.
Yeah. And Chris is saying, "Okay, fine." Just keep on supporting us, guys, and we'll do more giveaways in the future. Thank you all so much for tuning in, joining us for this conversation. We hope you learned a lot, and guys, let's go check out Jannie's new video. Please join us there in just a few minutes. In just 10 minutes, it's going to start. So grab some, if you need to go to the bathroom, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and join us over there. Jannie, once again, thank you for the awesome chat. I don't know when the next one will be. We do have Christmas and New Year coming up, but you guys just keep an eye on my channel and you'll find out when the next Tech Tuesday will be. Don't worry, there will be another one and there will be more coming. So thank you all so much for the great support. Thank you all for the super chats as well. Jannie, this might sound a bit weird, but I like you with your hair down.
Thanks, Joe.
Why are you blushing?
This is for you, so I don't know what to say. It's my Tech Tuesday order. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you at the next one. Cheers.